Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I have a little something different, so let's get started. First of all, I want to thank everyone. We've now have over 10,000 subscribers. That means so much to me. That means over 10,000 of you guys have looked at my channel and said, I want to subscribe to that. And that really makes me feel good, because when I first started this channel, 2 years, it was February 1st, 2023. So we're like 2 years and a few weeks now. I had no idea that the channel would blow up like this. I started it, I've been a photographer for 42 years. And some of you guys, I did make a video about a year ago about my story in photography. So you may have heard some of this, but I just wanted to make it so we have. After our first year, we had like 535 subscribers, and now we're well over 10,000. And every one of you, I just appreciate every one of you so much. When I started this channel, my goal was just to help photographers, because I started at 15, yes, 15 years old. Back in the 80s, you could start working at a really young age. And I started working in a 1-hour photo lab. So I actually learned to process and print pictures before I learned to take them, which I think helped, because I got to see all the errors and what happens behind the scenes. So by the time I got to the camera side of it, I already knew what was kind of going on, because I had seen the good, the bad, and the ugly coming through the lab. And I had a couple of photographers that kind of took me under their wings. I never went to college for it. Started at 15, and about 3 professional photographers, 3 really excellent photographers. Some of them aren't with us today. They're missed. They helped me out. They put me, took me under their wing and taught me how to do it. And I worked with them, and I worked and I worked and I worked with them. And that's, my way of giving back. Back then, we didn't have things like YouTube. You met with the person personally and you talked on the phone. And not a cell phone either. I mean, a phone with a cord, the whole deal. So I thought this would be a way for us to give back to the people, and honor the ones that taught me. I thought I'll jump on here and maybe a few people will be interested, and I can help a few people learn photography. And I just can't believe how our channel has taken off. Again, thanks to all of you. But my story real quickly, again, started at 15 in a 1-hour lab. By the time I was 16, I was managing 2 1-hour labs for the same owner. I was in the 11th grade. Can you believe that? 11th grade. And I was making really good money to be an 11th grader too. I was in a private school, small private school. And I was making more than my teachers were, and that is no joke. So I still talk to some of them today. In fact, a few years ago, I went and shot one of my teacher's pictures on Christmas Day. That's how special she was to me. So they're all just wonderful people. And so I did not mind at all going up on Christmas Day and shooting pictures, because she had all the family coming from out of town, and you don't get that very often. So we went up and shot the pictures, and they liked them, and that's what we always like. Customer happy with their pictures. So I stayed in the 1-hour lab business until 1987, when we opened up our own 1-hour lab. And we stayed there for 3 years. After that, I jumped into in-home glamour photography. If you've ever heard of glamour shots, and I know you older guys remember it, get the big hair done and makeup and dressing the outfits. And I was actually managing the glamour shots for a little while after we closed our lab. And the owner of the glamour shots I was at came to me, and we were discussing how we should promote it. I was manager at the time. And I said, let's take it to people's homes. And he didn't want to do that. He wanted to take it to commercial accounts. And so we just couldn't come to an agreement on that. And he's like, well, if you want to take it to homes, you go take it to homes. So I did. I took it to homes. And in just a short period of time, we had 39 makeup artists, about 7 photographers, and we would go 7 days a week. We would have full sets of wardrobe, photography, lights. So we could send out 4 groups at one time. We covered 7 different states. Not too long after we started, we had our first office was in Jonesboro. Our second one was in Gastonia, North Carolina. This is back early 90s. And we did a lot of glamour stuff. I mean, a lot of glamour stuff. And then around, middle 90s, glamour started dying out, and we got more back into weddings. And then we had been doing weddings for years. Shot the first wedding I ever did in 1983. Now, it was small and didn't get paid much, but it's still the first wedding. And so we started upping our weddings, and the weddings really took over from 95 to about 2011. That was our huge concentration of weddings. I mean, we were shooting multiple weddings every weekend. It was just crazy. Fun times, a lot of work. Weddings are just too much work for an old guy my age now. I just can't get down, up, and off the ground and move at that pace for 10 to 12 hours anymore like I used to. After that, I had a stroke in 2015. Now, it didn't affect, a whole lot. I have some memory issues, but thank God I have all of my photography knowledge. And tell you, the most comfortable I feel, because I have a problem with names since then. Like, if I knew you before 2015, I'm good. But after 2015, I struggle with remembering names. But if you want to make me feel comfortable, put me behind a camera somewhere. And luckily, none of that was affected by the stroke. I remember everything about photography, which is awesome. I'm more comfortable behind a camera than I am anywhere. So anyway, I just want to share my story with you guys. And I just appreciate each and every one of you so much. I want this to be the channel for every photographer, whether you're brand new and you're just getting started. I make my emails down at the bottom. You can leave a comment down at the bottom. I try to personally respond to everybody. Some of you guys I know that are members and subscribers have more experience than I do. So I want this to be the home for photography for everybody. This is where I want you to be. You ask your questions. Beginners ask questions. And if you guys have been shooting for 30, 40 years, if you can't figure something out, get with me. We'll figure it out. We'll definitely do that. I might not have the answer right then, but we'll figure it out. I didn't start the channel to say, hey, everybody, I'm the photographer. I've done this for over 42 years. You got to do it my way or you're just wrong. That's not me. I'm not that way. I'll tell you how I shoot it. And, you can try that. And if that don't work, there's a lot of different ways to take pictures. I share with you my way of doing pictures. I don't have every answer to every question there is, but I will find out one if I don't know. I just want to give back to the community as far as knowledge and photography questions. And, certain cameras, cameras nowadays are also good. There's not really a camera that you can buy that's just a bad camera. They just don't make them like that. All cameras are just excellent. The technology is amazing nowadays. And I love when you guys ask questions. I love when I get emails. I just love helping you guys, no matter where you're at in your career. In fact, I had a model photographer. She's modeled for us, and she's getting into photography. I spent some time with her recently, going over a camera she was getting. And I just love to help people in the photography world. And everything I do may not be exactly by the book. I'm always been a rule breaker, so if you see pictures or something of mine, and that's something I do show my work on the channel. And a lot of photographers don't do that because they don't want the feedback, because you get some crazy comments sometime, but I don't care. If it's too crazy, I just delete it. But if you're just disagreeing with how I'm shooting it and you've got a better way, that's fine. You leave any comment you want. It's just the only comments I delete are, like, we had a terroristic threat comment a while back. I deleted that one. That one's not going to fly. So, just obviously, good back and forth is fine. If you disagree, hey, well, let's debate it and we'll figure out who's right. I don't claim to know everything, but together we can all get this figured out, because you never quit learning. Over 42 years now in photography, I still learn new stuff all the time because things change. I mean, my first camera was a Canon AE1 that I got from KEH in 1983. I shot Canon for over 40 years. This is a Canon R6. That is my main Canon camera. I retired from weddings last year. We're doing super small weddings for friends and just special occasions. We're just not booking up the calendar with weddings like we previously had done. So now I'm kind of shifting gears. And, people always want to know, well, what's the best camera I can buy? Well, it totally depends on what you're going to shoot. What might be great for me, like the Canon R6, the Canon 6D, all that. Those were the cameras I needed in the past for my wedding photography. Now that I'm getting more into YouTube and video, I'm doing a lot with the Lumix. I've got the Lumix G9 Mark II, the Lumix G85 as a backup, and I still have most of my Canon stuff. I'm selling some of the wedding stuff because I just have so much Canon stuff that I've sold a lot of it. I'm not going to sell it all, though. I'm keeping a lot of it. I'm keeping my R6, keeping my 6D, and I'm keeping my 70D. I've got a bunch of other Canons, 10 and a 30, and I had a 50, and the model tonight, she's training for photography. She took the Canon 50D. And, I love getting on here. I love having a good time with you guys. Sometimes we have just corny, silly videos. Sometimes I try to be a little serious, help you learn a little something. Sometimes I'm reviewing gear. Whatever it is, if you guys have ideas you want to hear about, just let me know, and I will try to get a video made for you. I enjoy this. I'm thinking right now we do 3 videos a week, 99.9% of the time, unless something crazy happens. And thinking about upping that, or 4 videos a week, but there's a lot goes into it. You got to come up with the ideas. You have to find the gear. You have to have. It takes a lot of time. There's a lot to it, and that's not even counting the video and the editing it. There's a lot of work that goes into it prior to that. So we're going to see how that works out. I'm not promising 4 videos a week, but we're going to start going in that direction. I would like to do that because not only did we start this channel to give back to help photographers, whether you're a professional photographer or a beginner, wherever you are in your career. We started this channel because, I've got back issues and stuff. I'm 56, I'm very old. And I just can't do weddings like I used to. That's why we stepped away from them. I can still shoot them. Like I shot one, a couple at the end of last year, and they were all fine. It's just by the time I'm done, my back, I need to go to the emergency room. It hurts so bad. The pictures still look fine. I mean, that's not the problem. The problem is the physical that, it is on your back. You guys that shoot weddings constantly that are younger, when you get into your middle 40s and 50s, you'll start seeing what I'm talking about. But I'm sorry to ramble on this video. I wanted you guys to know a little bit of history about me. But that's why we are here, and I really, really mean it when I say I want this to be the channel for photographers on YouTube. I'm here for any questions that you have. My experience is mostly with Canon and Lumix cameras, but basic exposures and getting the right kind of pictures, your exposure triangle, if you know that, you can work any camera. I don't care how fancy the camera is. I think you could take a Lumix G85 and almost have a photography career with just a Lumix G85. It might not be great for weddings and low light, but all these new cameras they put out have so much technology in them. It's good and it's fantastic and it makes it easier, but we don't have to have all this stuff. I mean, my Canon AE1 from 1983, I think the AE1 came out in like 78 or 79, a film camera. It worked fine. I traded it, got a Canon A1, kept it until 89 or 90, whenever it came out, the Canon T90. It was a film camera, and it was so advanced for its time. I thought I was the man when I had that Canon T90. I mean, it had LED screens. It had stuff that cameras had never had before. Now, it doesn't obviously measure up to the cameras of today, but for its time, it was a heck of a camera. And we shot medium format, mostly through the 90s and the 2000s, because mostly doing weddings, and of course we want medium format for that. That's enough about me. But I want to help you guys. Whatever your questions may be, if it's, what camera should you buy to start with, contact me. We'll find out what area of photography you're getting into, because just because one camera is good for you, like my Canon R6, this is an excellent wedding camera. Great under low light. Now, you take a take a Lumix G85, it's not the perfect wedding camera because it's not great under low light. Now, there's more to weddings than low light, but, just trying to give you the idea that there is no best camera for anybody. It depends on what you're shooting. If you're shooting portraits or weddings or architecture, or houses, or whatever the case may be, landscapes, birds, everything under the sun. Everybody's going to need something different, and every camera offers something different. There's no one camera that does everything the best, in my opinion. So anyway, guys, I will hush, but just wanted to thank each and every one of you for subscribing. I mean, seriously, guys, that just means so much to me. I'm blown away that over 10,000 people would care enough about what I have to say to actually take the time to subscribe. But seriously, I appreciate it. I am here for you. For any of your photography questions, doesn't matter where you're at in your career, you just send me a message. My email is easily accessible, and I will get back to you, and I will help you out any way I can. Oh, and one more thing. On the thumbnail, I talked about the crazy shirts. Yes, I wear my crazy shirts. It started back when I was in high school. I always dressed differently than everybody else. I don't know why, but I didn't never want to look normal. I always wanted to look different. And it's just me. And I've contacted this company because some of you guys like these shirts. I know I've got photographer friends. I got one especially in my mind right now. He's in Spain. He loves to give me a hard time. He's like, sometimes I flip on your videos just to see what kind of crazy shirt you have on that day. It's funny. And that's fine. I just like wearing crazy clothes. I've done it since I was a teenager, and it's just my thing, I guess. I just wear crazy clothes, and people are used to it. So, in fact, one girl, a few weeks ago, I had gone to lunch, and this girl, she said, "You're Daniel from the internet, aren't you?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not from the internet, but I have a YouTube channel." And I had on one of my shirts, and she said, "I thought for sure that was you." So it was pretty neat, but it's just something I do. I like to wear crazy stuff. It's just me. But anyway, guys, I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, again, any questions at all about anything that I can help you with, I will go to the end of the earth to get these questions solved for you. And I appreciate it. Photography is such a wonderful field and a wonderful career to be in. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Having a job that you enjoy is like never having a job at all. I just want to say, if you're learning photography to get into it for a career, learn your gear. Learn the shutter triangle, learn your gear inside and out, and go from there. You'll end up with a style. Everybody has a different style. In fact, I did a shoot for a model the other day, and she's getting into modeling, and she wants me to do some more shoots. And I said, "Yeah, we can do all this." I said, "But you're going to probably I said, "I have a certain style." And I said, "Other photographers have a different style." I said, "Your portfolio doesn't need to be all me. You need to have pictures from other photographers in there. Some girl photographers I know, some guy photographers I know. Different style, because you don't want to go somewhere where it all looks like it was shot by the same guy." So anyway, but guys, I appreciate it so much. I mean, over 10,000 of you. I just cannot say thank you enough. I am just blown away by that, but I appreciate it so much. Each and every one of you mean the world to me. Thanks again. And if we're helping you out, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. And this Saturday we have the video, the Godox V100 versus the Godox V1 versus the newer Z2. We have all three of those that we shot. It's going to be a cool video, so don't miss it. It's going to be this Saturday. Appreciate it, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Have a great day.